And so far we have started as a hosting company, then cloud solution provider, and now we are the product company, primarily focusing on the cloud space, right? So this is about me. I will request Parijat ji to provide his introduction.
Hi guys, good to see you. So I'm Parijat Agrawal. I'm an alumnus of IIT Delhi, and I'm the co-founder for MetaCube Software. So we started in 2003 timeframes, and it's almost like 20 plus years now since we've been in Jaipur ecosystem. And it's good to meet all of you and talk about Jaipur as an emerging tech hub in this session.
Hello everyone. I'm C. Anil Agrawal. I'm Managing Director for NAV India, which is legally called as Back Office IT Solutions Private Limited. So I started this company in 2001, and we mainly work for hedge fund accounting and related softwares. So we are one of the top 10 hedge fund administrators in the world. And right now, more than 2,600 people are working in our company. Thank you.
Thank you, Anil sir. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Alok Sharma, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Mark9 Technology Solutions. We started in 2016, and we focus on products as well as IT consulting and tech solutions. So, yeah, thank you.
Hello? Yeah. So I think देखो थोड़ा इसको कनेक्टिंग बनाते हैं सेशन को. आपके सामने जो बैठे हैं ना, so these are they are big guys, ठीक है? वो अपने मुंह से अपनी बड़ाई नहीं करेंगे, लेकिन they are leader in their space, right? So let's go deep dive in the session now. So Parijat ji, tell me one thing, that for the tier 2 cities especially, what are the main elements which is very important for building a tech hub? So any special important points?
Absolutely, Munesh ji. And again, like he has set the tone, हम लोग हिंदी और इंग्लिश दोनों में बात करेंगे, because हमारे audience राजस्थान के हैं, they understand Hindi very well. So, सबसे important for the tech industry to stand is the talent. You know, you can live without the capital, which is the investment which is coming in, but talent is very important, and good talent. Second, in that talent, there has to be the learning attitude. तो राजस्थान में शुरू से ये रहा है कि यहाँ के जो लोग हैं, वो ये नहीं है कि जो काम let's say our parents did, हम लोग वही काम पिकअप करते हैं. हमें हमेशा से एजुकेशन को यूज़ करके आगे जाने की एक चाह रहती है, और वो बहुत इम्पॉर्टेंट है किसी भी सिटी के टेक्नोलॉजी हब बनने में, कि जिसको कहते हैं ना नवचार करना या नई चीज़ों को लाना, you know, trying out new things and not being afraid about failure. And I think that spirit which is there in the Rajasthan, which is there in Jaipur, in all of you, I think that is what is laying the foundation of Jaipur being a technology hub, and hopefully in future Jaipur will become much bigger than where we are today.
Yeah. Thank you, Parijat ji. Anil ji, why this is important to focus on the tier 2 cities or tier 2 hub?
So as we all read every day, tier 1 cities, big cities like Mumbai or Bangalore or Hyderabad, they are saturating from infrastructure point of view. Their travel time, commute time has increased so much. Their cost of real estate and rental and lease rates are increased. very much. So, big companies are focusing on tier 2 cities, and talent is available everywhere in India, but in these tier 1 cities, most of the migrated talents from different part of the countries are working, and it's a win-win situation if they get good opportunity nearby their home. So tier 2 cities are becoming more preferable choice for big corporates and big IT companies these days.
Thank you, Anil ji. Alok ji, you want to add something?
मेरा मानना है कि जयपुर इज tier 2 city though, but from the standpoint of the living cost and the parallel developments which have been fostered into this are very great. और उसमें राजस्थान का अगर मैं जयपुर मेन सिटी की बात करूं तो पायनियर रहे हैं स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम एंड टेक एंटरप्रेन्योर attractions में across all, not only tech. So I believe government policies and a lot of the incubation accelerator and the investors and those all things have started as a legacy here. If I talk about the startups point of view and getting more and more entrepreneurs here. So 360-degree ecosystem support है यहाँ पर. And then it is Rajasthan hub of, I would say, education, especially the professional courses. So talent यहाँ पे जैसा कि परिजा सर ने बताया कि is one of the major things. So it is really supporting.
Thank you, Alok ji. Very interesting.
एक point और ऐड
हाँ जी,
करना चाहता हूँ,
please.
sorry. So because I think why regional hubs? So India has a huge population, right? And jobs are very important. Everybody cannot just go and live in NCR or Bangalore or Chennai or wherever the tech hubs are. So it's important that all over India there is growth, and not just in like few pockets, right? And hence emergence of tier 2, tier 3 cities is very, very important. So basically getting growth to the people where they are, and IT industry can do that. If you talk about steel, if you talk about any, let's say, auto hub, auto industry, or maybe, let's say, textile industry, a lot of these industries are limited by what are the raw materials which are available, what are the capital structures that are there, and many other things. But IT can be in any city, right? And hence, development of tier 2 and tier 3 cities is very, very important so that we can get employment to people in these cities where they live, where they've been brought up, and they can grow there.
Yes, very interesting, Parisha ji. People are coming back to tier 2 cities because of the good life and also for the opportunities, because government is also focusing more on the tier 2 cities now. So let's go back to the history now. So Parisha ji, you are basically like, you know the history about Jaipur very well, and especially for the tech street. So ये जयपुर कैसे बना, ये टेक हब, तो इसका थोड़ा हिस्ट्री आप बताइए, और क्या अचीवमेंट रहे हैं जयपुर के जो इसको टेक हब बनाते हैं.
So पहले मैं शुरू में बोल देना चाहता हूँ कि इस हिस्ट्री में अगर कुछ पात्र या कुछ कैरेक्टर्स मुझसे रह जाएं तो उसको इग्नोर करा जाए, बिकॉज जयपुर के अभी तक बनने में बहुत सारे पात्रों का हाथ है आईटी इंडस्ट्री में. So at any rate, let me start. So I was in US from 94, and it's not that 95 also I tried to come back to Jaipur. There were no jobs available here in 1995. IT sector, no jobs in Jaipur, only in Bangalore or Chennai. So I went to US. 2002, again I came back to India, to Jaipur particularly, let's go figure out, let's do something there. And everybody who I spoke to was saying, why are you going to Jaipur? Go to Bangalore, go to Chennai. By the way, guys, at that time, Hyderabad and Pune were also not very big hubs. NCR, Noida was. I know a lot of you may be born at that time, so, I'm talking of slightly old time. So back in 2002-3 time frames, there were few people in Jaipur ecosystem, who were who were struggling, who were trying to bring IT industry here. Luckily, we had a STPI, Software Technology Parks of India Authority here. And very luckily and very, our RICO, which is our Government of Rajasthan organization, did recognize IT as a sector, and they started giving lands to the IT companies. So, few of the characters at that time, Mr. Ajay Data, Keshav, who's my partner, we have Puneet Mittal, we have Rajesh Mundra, and we had several others, and I'm sorry if I missed out any of these people. So all these guys were trying to provide services from Jaipur. And now, a lot of them, at that time, if you know, a lot of digitization also started in government. So some companies started focusing on government. The rest of the companies were very export-oriented, export-focused. And because we could not compete with the services company from Bangalore or Chennai, we started focusing on niche areas such as, outsourced product development. So Pratham did that. Metacube, which is our company, we did that. Some of the companies did that. Time passes by, comes 2007-8. And by that time, again, I think Salesforce was one of the technologies which came into our ecosystem. I'm proud to say Metacube was the company which brought Salesforce to Jaipur. And, and by the way, at that time we had other companies such as Girnar, which then, their founders decided that, we won't focus on services, we'll focus on product development. So they started Car Dekho. Of course, you see their founders now in Shark Tank and wherever. And there were some of these people who said, we will not take the services path, we will take the product path, right? We also have a lot of tax software companies from Jaipur. I don't know how many of you guys know. So in tax sector, and I was speaking to Rajiv Gupta ji, who will also be joining us soon, I think he was mentioning somewhere around 15% of tax forms which are filed through the organized sector. And I would imagine 50 to 60% of those tax filings across India, whether it is GST, income tax, etc., it's filed through softwares which are built in Jaipur. So all these things were happening. Of course, Anil Agarwal ji was sitting here. NAV back office had started in Jaipur. So anyhow, our progress kept on happening. 2011, 2012, a lot of college students from very good colleges started coming out in the Jaipur ecosystem. So talent started becoming available. And, after that, Razorpay, Dealshare, many other startups actually also came out of Jaipur. And luckily, we had many other things also coming in. And then COVID pandemic is something which really opened up everybody's eyes. So during those days, most of the big companies, their employees also started working from Jaipur. Suddenly said, oh wow, people can work from Jaipur as well. We thought that they can only work from NCR or they can only work from Bangalore or whatever. Oh, Jaipur also exists. Oh, these other cities also exist. And suddenly in everybody's strategy, Jaipur became big. And sorry, I missed out Mahindra SEZ. I'm surely going to miss many. Mahindra SEZ started in 2008 and Genpact, which basically came in 2000, I think 3-4 times frames to Jaipur. Again, these were very important because when we went and met the clients, we could say, oh, GE is in Jaipur. Oh, MetLife is in Jaipur. Oh, Deutsche Bank is in Jaipur. Right? Otherwise, why are you going to Jaipur? Right? So anyhow, we have come far from where we were in 2002. We have a number of innovative companies in Jaipur now, and we have a lot of employment in IT. Now, that's where we are. I hope, I'm not taking away all the time, but Jaipur's history is long, and I'm sure I've missed many characters and many people in that. Colleges, and, of course, the entrepreneurs and, everybody who has contributed to getting Jaipur to this stage it is against all odds.
जयपुर में एक्सप्लेन करने में टाइम लगता ही है बिकॉज देयर आर एन नंबर ऑफ यूनिक थिंग्स आलोक जी इन टर्म्स ऑफ टेक what is special or what is unique in terms of tech in Jaipur which makes Jaipur as an important part of the world and the emerging technologies and the special technology which is available or a special talent which is available in Jaipur.
So, As a tech in Jaipur, number one, as I said earlier also, and we mentioned that point all in this, that Jaipur is having a good talent. So we are a talent factory where we are retaining the talent of the state in home. And most of the people, if they have choice, then they would try to retain in Jaipur or in Rajasthan itself, given a chance. And I guess state has been showing a good success into that. So number one in tech retention is this. Second is, as I know, and Paridas sir mentioned also, Salesforce was one of the very starting companies who pioneered this particular starting of the Salesforce here, and slowly Jaipur has become the hub of Salesforce. There are a lot of global companies who started in Mahindra World City and also in STPI Park, Jaipur chapter. So this is another thing where we were attracting a lot of talent in Jaipur itself. The third part is DigiFest, tech shows, a lot of government initiatives, and also NASSCOM is also pumping so many efforts here to spread out the tech awareness, and a lot of grants from the government side in terms of agri-tech. This is one of the sectors. E-commerce, because I remember when we started, we were struggling that which particular industry we should focus on. So we found out there are a lot of good e-commerce companies who are making absolutely good over here. In our research, we got to know that e-commerce is one of the biggest sectors which has been given sort of good proof points in terms of taking grants from the government, and also maximum startup in this particular sector. So, and we know that if something is coming online, then it is retaining tech. Without technology, this particular industry cannot survive. And so many things are required here. And similarly, fintech is another sector where government is supporting, and the private investors, accelerator, and a lot of the seed funders are over here. So we have been a legacy of mindset in Jaipur or Rajasthan. And I know many people who are from this land, and they have given so many success, name, and now they are coming back to make this particular state successful in the technology field. So I cannot mention all such things, but I guess these are the points which are making this a very successful. Thank you.
Thank you.
From the
Thank
tech
you,
point of
Alexi.
view.
So we are calling Jaipur as a AI, Salesforce and cloud hub now already. So let's come to the infrastructure part. So Anilji, this is for you, that why Jaipur infrastructure is important and how we are improving as an infrastructure, and any special infrastructure project which is coming and which will help to the tech industry.
So Jaipur has a lot of plus points from infrastructure point of view. First, state capital है, तो state capital always state में सबसे ज़्यादा developed होती है. The second point is it's very close to Delhi and NCR. These days, 3 hours drive, and there are a lot of other connectivities. Airport है जिससे India की हर part is connected, and a lot of international flights are also there. And it's a peaceful city. Crime rate बहुत कम है. Infrastructure cost is comparatively low than the metro cities, and all good quality of life available, good quality of education available. So all are the plus point which needed for IT industry are available in Jaipur. So Jaipur is flourishing. A lot of engineering colleges are there. So every year, around 1 lakh graduates pass from different colleges and different streams from Jaipur. So talent is available in lot. So all whatever needed for IT industry is available here. So it's a good for future for IT industry in Jaipur.
Thank you, Anil ji. Since it's a heritage city,
मुनीश जी एक पॉइंट और है
हाँ जी,
इसमें
please.
इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पॉइंट से जो शायद मैं मिस कर गया सो data center is another area which is a very lucrative field and Jaipur is becoming the choice for the tech companies to set up their data centers in Jaipur, be it any startup or the early birds in this field or established companies. So I have few tips with me, like about the Accenture is one of the things where they are working with one of the largest telecom companies. So they had such kind of plans. And apart from that, HPE. So we are the consulting partners and also the OEM partners with HPE, where they also have a big plans to set up their data center in Jaipur with the help of partnership, or they have their own setup plans as well. But first they are preferring for the partnership if someone is doing that. So this is another area point. Thank you.
And the reason for coming these big brand for data center is earthquake resistance है Jaipur. So Jaipur is the place जिसमें natural disaster की possibility बहुत कम है किसी भी तरह के natural disaster की. So that is another plus point.
and this is very important because I am in touch with 2 or 3 large data centers who want to set up their infrastructure in Jaipur. So this is very important and interesting. In terms of government support, Parija ji, how the government rules and government support is helping the data centers or tech companies in Jaipur, and how they are helping them to grow?
So I'll add to both the points, infrastructure as well. So firstly, Jaipur has had very good flight connectivity, road connectivity now, like 2.5 hours from Delhi. That is number one, and it has always been on the tourism map. So everybody worldwide, if you talk about, they know about Jaipur. Golden Triangle of Rajasthan, Agra, Jaipur, Delhi is known to everybody. So many of people have already visited Jaipur, right? That brings in familiarity. Second, if you talk about NCR, which is our closest competitor, because that's where we lose most of our employees to, life is very difficult. You have to commute every day 2 hours, 2.5 hours from Noida to Gurgaon or Gurgaon to Delhi or whatever the case may be. In Jaipur, till now, that situation has not been there. At the most, the commute has been 20, 30, 40 minutes. And now, of course, so in that sense, Jaipur offers a better quality of life to any of the employees. And that's a function of infrastructure. Then if you talk about schools for kids or, colleges for basically kids as they, grow. Again, I'm trying to address all the things which any family of, husband and wife would be focusing on while making a choice of where do they want to work and where do they want to live. So in all those cases, Jaipur comes out with high flying marks, right? And we have great colleges too. What government and rules, which can help us or which are already helping us? See, I think, one thing which I want to bring up is, affordability is very important. Affordability of land is very important. I was very surprised to learn recently that in some cases the land and the rentals have gone up as much as Navi Mumbai, right, in Jaipur. I mean, that if you take away, we have, Rajasthan has ample land, right? Why can't we spread out the development? So the government has to, government is obviously coming out with policies to develop, cities and, I think making cities which basically combine both living and working, just like Gurgaon is there, right? So you have living and working happening in a certain hub or, a Singapore development model or whatever it is called. Those kinds of things are very important, and of course safety. Our government is, of course, providing a number of different things. I believe Anilji was mentioning to us yesterday that they are providing us discount on electricity, on PF, on ESI, and all sorts of policies which government of Rajasthan is providing help to the companies. And of course, we are sitting in the Techno Hub. We are sitting in this lovely convention center. All these are facilities which are being provided by our government, for reasonable things. I think all these infrastructures, if you may, will definitely help. Right education policy, right safety for women. Women are a very, very, very important component of the IT industry. When you're sitting behind a keyboard, so let's say you're working on a site and you have a hammer. Of course, their physical strength matters, right? Because men may have more physical strength. But when you're sitting behind a keyboard, women are equally or more powerful than men many times because, your strength doesn't matter. It's your brain which matters. So I think safety for women, right? That is something, again, which is something which, this is all part of infrastructure. Security, transportation, everything is part of infrastructure.
Absolutely, yes, which is very, very, very important. So let's come to the startups now, which is very interesting subject. Alok, if you can give us some of the notable startups which is emerged from Jaipur, and from Jaipur, especially from Rajasthan also. Because startup is a very dynamic ecosystem, and how they emerged and how the culture is there within the city towards the startup ecosystem.
Yeah. There are few startups which we have already heard on this platform. I remember one of the very initial startups is Cardeko. We have Rapido, Razorpay, Voila. And there are many startups which have grown from Jaipur itself, and it has been fostered, I would say, as a tradition now in this land. So these are the startups. In fact, so Anil Sir and Praja's organizations are pretty old, but if I talk about from that perspective legacy, then these are also very great successful startups. So BetaCube and now Back Office Solutions. And I should say that in last 6 years, we as a Marktine also made a good growth in terms of the AI solutions that we have provided. And then there are various organizations who are really giving good success and the employment to the industry and trying to retain this thing. Now the frameworks and the infrastructure. So again, we are talking about same things, but when we talk about the startup ecosystem in Rajasthan is a very strong from the policy perspective, policy development perspective, and continuously there are new things has been added every year and every session whenever there is any kind of amendment and budget comes. So if I remember, then in 2020-22, the grants for the startup based on their curate category has been doubled. Initially it was 10 lakh, then it has made as 25 lakhs. And there has been exemptions in the tax reimbursements that has been given by government, and especially for the agri-tech organizations, where this has been provided to them at a very inspirational level, so that they can come up and the entrepreneurship can become very great. Another thing is women entrepreneurship and tech entrepreneurship has also been focused and given a lot of weightage. So initially, in 2016 and 17, there were only 2% women entrepreneurs. Now this has become somewhere around 6.5% women entrepreneurs. It is not just because there was not earlier the women entrepreneur, but now they have been given exposure in terms of if they have 51% they are holding in partnership in an organization, then they would be given more support in terms of their funding and the support system financially. So this is another way that government only has started. And then of course the quality lifestyle over here, living cost, all such things are also making this particular city and adjacent to, or I would say very near to the NCR, right? So we have accessibility of so many things which are important from the quality of life perspective. These all factors are making that we are having tech growing here, and a lot of grants that have been given from 360-degree angle, private and government sector and investment point of view.
Yeah, I just want to add few more points. So for startups like STPI is supporting very much. They have incubation center in Sitapura, Jaipur and Jodhpur, and Rajasthan government is also very supportive for startups. They have Bhamasha Techno Hub close to this place very. So the environment is very positive for startups here.
Startups, so like I said, everybody doesn't have to be working in services firms. I think startups is the need of the hour. See, last year, recruitment by services firms has not been that high in the colleges. Actually, it's been negative, right? So startups are very, very important. And, I want to mention TIE Rajasthan, the Indus Entrepreneurs Rajasthan. That's a very big group. And so, for example, we are running right now a contest in all the colleges called TIE-U, where the first, anybody who basically qualifies and, of course, wins the first prize may get funding of as much as $500,000 US, which is a lot of money, right? And Jaipur has the right ecosystem. So from the colleges, a lot of startups, a lot of young students like yourselves, they're working and building, they're coming up with ideas, they're applying for that, right? Of course, all of you have heard about Razor Pays and Car Dekhos and, a number of, by the way, Unacademy, they also started from Jaipur. Of course, they became very big. Their founders were in Jaipur initially. That's where they incubated their idea, and then they went ahead. Now, if you talk about the systems of structures, which I believe my fellow panelists have already touched upon, I think Jaipur does have seed. So if you go from the capital structures point of view, there is, seed funding, which is angel funding, which is available. You have RAIN, you have iStart, you have, a number of different angel investing organizations who keep on visiting Jaipur at regular intervals. There are mentors who are available for startups. You need a mentor. You may come up with a great idea, but you need a good mentor to take that idea, to the next level, working with people who have already done that. Then, of course, you have the government policies. You have space, which is available. You have iStart. You have, you have STPI, again, has an incubation center, as Anilji mentioned. And so you have pretty much everything available. You have great talent available. A lot of students who make into IITs and IITs have done their coaching in Kota, right? And for them, Rajasthan, Jaipur holds a special place in their heart, and they want to come back to Jaipur and work here, right? So you have all the things available, and we have to have many, many more startups than what we have right now. Because yes, it's a brave new world, but only that's how you will generate employment in various cities, right? Because if you expect that some big company will come and give you employment, that may or may not happen.
Definitely, Parijat ji, Alok ji, Anil ji. You have given very good insights. In fact, the ecosystem, which is TIE, NASCOM, incubation centers, they are helping startups to grow. And apart from that, there are some good startups are also available, which they started in Jaipur, but they moved to somewhere else. So ये numbers काफ़ी है, वो अभी गिनते नहीं हम लोग. But this is good. Actually, someone has to start. Whether they will stay in Rajasthan or they want to go somewhere else, it's their choice, but they have to start somewhere. So let's come to the point of talent pool and skill development, which is always a discussion topic in all the forums. What are the strategies we are employing in Jaipur for acquiring the talent, developing the talent, and retention the talent? So, Parija ji or Anil ji, any one of you?
So, as I said earlier, Jaipur has a lot of engineering college, and now it is becoming a coaching hub also. After Kota, Jaipur is becoming a second biggest coaching hub in Rajasthan or maybe in India, and government is promoting that by developing a specialized area for that named as coaching hub, which is the first of its kind in India. So talent pool availability is not at all a problem in Jaipur. All kind of talent available, whether you need engineers or accounting, finance related. We hire mostly accounting, finance related people like chartered accountants. So Jaipur is one of the biggest producer of chartered accountants in the country. And then a lot of other professional accounting courses and talent is available, like company secretaries or CMAs or BCom, MCom, all type of talent available in Jaipur. So hiring of those talent is never a problem, and we hire them and train them as per our international clients' need. And then when they get good work environment, good salary and good life, so they continue to work for a long time, and by providing best practices and best work culture, we are able to retain most of them for a long time. About the hiring engineers and their retention, Parijat will explain better.
Sure, Anil. So talent, like I said, talent is the cornerstone of IT industry. And so let's start. So when we walked in, I think the organizer mentioned to us कि भाई आप हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों लैंग्वेजेस यूज़ करिएगा, एक लैंग्वेज नहीं यूज़ करिएगा. तो देखिए, सबसे पहले तो ज़रूरत है जयपुर में जो हमारी जो टैलेंट निकल रही है कि वो the communication skill has to improve quite a lot. So I think there is definitely a gap I see in terms of communication training, right? Some sort of like a finishing school or something which is needed while we focus on engineering, while we focus on everything else. But teaching communication to people, how do you formulate your thoughts? How do you present to other people? How do you take it to the next level? I think that is very important. As far as the technical technical talent goes, yes, we have good raw talent, right? Once you take in the talent, then you have to work with them to kind of finesse the area. So whether it is databases, data structures, algorithms, those are the basics. A lot of you students, हम में से कई सारे लोगों का ये होता है कि यार ये लैंग्वेज सीख लेते हैं, सेल्सफोर्स सीख लेते हैं, जावा सीख लेते हैं, चलो पाइथन सीख लेते हैं, चलो एआई की कुछ टूल सीख लेते हैं. But that is not good enough. You have to start from the fundamentals. You know, what are fundamentals? Object-oriented programming, data structures. भाई अगर वो आपको आता होगा तो आप किसी भी तरह की जो प्रोग्रामिंग है वो कर सकते हैं और जो नई टेक्नोलॉजीज आ रही हैं उन्हें समझ सकते हैं, वरना आप सिर्फ टेक्नोलॉजी के यूजर्स बन जाते हैं, राइट? तो सबसे पहले तो ये माइंडसेट। अच्छा, प्लस आई थिंक जो भी कंपनीज हों, स्टार्टअप्स हों, उनका एक माइंडसेट होना चाहिए कि इट्स नॉट कि भाई हम ओनर्स हैं, कोई एम्प्लॉई है, वी आर ऑल ह्यूमन कैपिटल, यू नो, वी आर ऑल कलीग्स एंड ह्यूमंस हु आर वर्किंग टुगेदर। So it's very important that you treat your colleagues as a part of some, you know, knowledge discourse. आप continuously learning कर रहे हैं, लोगों को सिखा भी रहे हैं और सीख भी रहे हैं इस दौरान, right? You know, हम लोग at least हमारे, you know, a lot of companies in Jaipur are, you know, founded by ex-Metacube people, and if you ask them, they'll say, अरे यार हमने सब कुछ वहाँ सीखा था, बहुत कुछ, ऑफ कोर्स फिर उसके बाद उन्होंने खुद भी बहुत कुछ सीखा है, बट वी हैव ट्राइड टू मेंटेन सॉर्ट ऑफ अ कॉलेज कैंपस एनवायरनमेंट। यू नो, इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट हर एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में आप टैलेंट को कंटिन्यूसली ग्रूम करें। आप ये सोचे कि नहीं मेरे को तो ऐसा बंदा मिलेगा तभी मैं उसको रखूंगा, उसको हायर करूंगा, वो नहीं हो पाएगा, वो आपको कभी नहीं मिलेगा। आपको हमेशा थोड़ा 19 ही मिलेगा, फिर उसमें आपको इन्वेस्टमेंट करना पड़ेगा, आपको उसको सिखाना पड़ेगा। सो टैलेंट की ग्रूमिंग जरूरी है। एंड अच्छा, बाय द वे, आईटी इज वन सेक्टर, आईटी इंडस्ट्री इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड नॉलेज इंडस्ट्री, राइट? बट नॉलेज इंडस्ट्री के लिए देन यू हैव टू कंटिन्यूसली इनहांस योर नॉलेज। हाउ डू यू एक्सपेक्ट कि भाई मेरे को एक स्किल आ गई अब तो मेरी चलती रहेगी? ऐसा नहीं होगा, क्योंकि हर 5-6 साल में, 8-10 साल में स्किल सारी बदल जाती है, राइट? सो वो एक कंटिन्यूस लर्निंग का, लाइफ लॉन्ग लर्निंग का माइंडसेट हम सबको रखना जरूरी है अगर हमें अच्छा टैलेंट पूल डेवलप करना है, अच्छी स्किल्स डेवलप करनी है, एंड ऑफ कोर्स नए एरियाज में जाना है, उनमें एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन करना है। बिना एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन करे, यू नो, हाउ विल यू लर्न साइंस? हम लोग फिजिक्स हमने जब पढ़ी थी, हम लोग पहले जाके लैब में एक्सपेरिमेंट करते थे। तो एक्सपेरिमेंटेशन भी जरूरी है, R&D भी जरूरी है, लर्निंग भी जरूरी है, तब जाके यहाँ पे आपको अच्छी टैलेंट मिलेगी। और अच्छी टैलेंट, यू नो, दैट हैज टू बी द बिगेस्ट फोकस एरिया फॉर मोस्ट ऑफ द कंपनीज and most of the colleges, of course, as well.
एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, हो सकता है आप में से भी काफ़ी लोग कुछ स्टार्टअप्स पे काम कर रहे हों, तो गवर्नमेंट की कुछ स्कीम्स हैं जिनमें वो लोग आपको mentorship point of view से, in fact, NASSCOM is also providing a similar thing. If someone is already into startup ecosystem, then NASSCOM's की तरफ से भी आपको mentorship होगी, which is helping you to enhance your talent and your skills. And there are a lot of incubation centers as well. So incubation centers in private colleges are also running. They are inviting external companies for the talent enhancement and skill development point of view, and government is also providing these kind of facilities to give you knowledge services and innovation support from the skill development perspective. So you guys can read that out also. And also one more thing, for any organization there should be a budget that you should take out for the internal tech development point of certifications. For example, AWS, Azure, and Salesforce. So these organizations are providing certifications. So you guys can look at those things also if you want to train your force and you want to develop their skills better. So ये एक बजट हमेशा अपनी टीम को, टैलेंट को एनहांस करने के लिए आपको रखना चाहिए ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को। जस्ट क्विक टिप।
Right, and these cloud companies are investing heavily on the skill building. So I think this is very important. Yes, future skills prime. So NASSCOM has their own skill initiative, which is Future Skills Prime. So you can access all the courses, most of the courses, free of cost. Also, you can get good certifications provided by NASSCOM and the relevant provider, and most of them are free of cost. So I think you should definitely explore the Future Skills Prime from NASSCOM.
I think you should go and register on the NASSCOM Future Skills Prime.
Yes.
This thing.
And this is free of cost. Most of the courses are free of cost. Yeah.
Yeah. Third important perspective is research. So how Jaipur is ready, if you go to European market or US, you know that the research is happening in the cities where business is not happening in much way. So how Jaipur is ready for the professional or for the scholars who want to do research only. They don't want to go into the commercial market as a product developer or as a service oriented company. Those who want to come up as a researcher. So how Jaipur is ready to take that as third pillar of growing as a IT hub.
So I think सबसे पहले तो इसको कन्वर्सेशन में लाना चाहिए, जैसे कि अपन अभी ला रहे हैं कि भी R&D का इन्वेस्टमेंट बहुत ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है हर कंपनी के लिए. अगर आप एग्जांपल लें, इफ वी टेक एग्जांपल ऑफ सिक्योर मीटर्स फ्रॉम उदयपुर, राइट, और आई बिलीव देयर आर अ फ्यू अदर मीटर मेकर्स इन राजस्थान. आई थिंक दे आर द लीडिंग यूटिलिटी मीटर मेकर्स इन द वर्ल्ड, राइट. उनके पास जो मीटर्स हैं वो फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड नेशंस, वेदर इट इज जर्मनी, वेदर इट इज स्वीडन, वहां तक उनके मीटर्स लग रहे हैं बिकॉज इनके R&D डिविजन्स हैं सारे के सारे, राइट. तो सिमिलरली व्हेन यू टॉक अबाउट, आई थिंक एक तो जो सारी a lot of research happens in academia, in colleges, right? So even if your company can tie up with one university very closely and work with academia there, where you have students like yourself who want to pursue PhD in certain areas, or there are interesting problems where you have to come up with solutions, I think that is the place to start with, right? Because that's where people have research as a motive, not money as a motive. Of course, money can come as a result of the research, but that is not the primary motive, right? Whereas when you are in a commercial or an industrial setup, our focus is, let's make money out of it. Then research suffers. But I think to your point, yes, product development, great. Services, great. But R&D is something with the change in technologies which is happening right now, EVs around you, AI around you, ML around you, a lot of jobs will be disappearing. And new jobs will be appearing as well. I'm not saying there is only disappearance of things. So R&D investment, making that as a cornerstone of your company is very important. Does it help to some extent?
Thank you. If anyone has very special question, they may ask, or we can conclude. This offline, which one? Online courses. Online.
Available online.
Online. Future Skills Prime, you can search.
And it is free.
It's a free.
You can register and you can take certification from there. Government of India is paying a lot of money.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm H. Kumar from CST Energy Access in the field of environment and renewable energy for sustainable development goal. पहला मेरा ऑब्जर्वेशन है, सबसे पहले तो मैं ऑर्गेनाइज को भी धन्यवाद दूंगा और चेयरमैन को भी धन्यवाद दूंगा. बहुत ही अच्छी बात की कि आपका स्ट्रक्चर है, जहाँ जिस कैंपस में बैठे हैं वो इतना अच्छा स्ट्रक्चर है. दिल्ली के अंदर जो द्वारका के अंदर जो हब बना, मतलब एग्जीबिशन बना, उससे भी अच्छा हब है ये. यहाँ आपके पास टेक्नो पार्क, टेक्नो हब है, आपका डाटा सेंटर है, राजीव गांधी सेंटर फॉर एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी है, सीपैट है, सीतापुर. इतना बड़ा स्ट्रक्चर है, गवर्नमेंट अब प्राइवेट नहीं है, और करोड़ों अरबों रुपए का स्ट्रक्चर खड़ा कर रखा है. क्वेश्चन है कि इसको कन्वर्जेंस में कैसे चेंज करें. तो इसमें 3 मेरे क्वेश्चन है. आपने नास्कॉम की बताया. नास्कॉम इज ओनली इंस्टीट्यूशन इन इंडिया जो कि अपेक्स बॉडी है गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया की, जो सेमीकंडक्टर में काम करती है. इतने सारे सेंटर ऑफ एक्सीलेंस भी है, एसएमई स्टार्टअप भी है, और सो मेनी स्कीम्स भी हैं. जो गुड़गांव में भी सेंटर बना, मैंने खुद ने जाके देखा. क्वेश्चन है कि जो कन्वर्जेंस की बात है कि राजस्थान में कैसे हैं, उसमें मेरे 3 क्वेश्चन है. पहला तो यह है कि राजस्थान के अंदर सेमीकंडक्टर पॉलिसी नहीं है, तो एक सेमीकंडक्टर पॉलिसी 2024 बननी चाहिए, जिससे कि जितनी भी सॉलिड सेमीकंडक्टर अलायंस हैं, सर्विसेज हो, मैन्युफैक्चर हो, एसकेडी सिस्टम हो, स्क्रूड्राइविंग हो, टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर हो, सबको कंपनीज की एक पॉलिसी बननी चाहिए. पहला क्वेश्चन. दूसरा यह है कि मैं सोलर टेक्नोलॉजिस्ट हूं, मैं लाइफ मेंबर भी सोलर एनर्जी सोसाइटी का. आई एम लिंक विद द इंटरनेशनल सोलर अलायंस 192 कंट्रीज. क्वेश्चन है कि हाउ टू मेक द सोलर एनर्जी एक्सेसिबल इन राजस्थान. हजारों किलोमीटर यहां रोड बन रहा है, बिल्डिंग्स बन रही है. गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया ने कल स्कीम भी लॉन्च कर दी है आपके सामने,
Very good.
प्रधानमंत्री घर योजना. क्यों ने एक नई पॉलिसी राजस्थान में इंट्रोड्यूस किया जाए, जो इंडिया की पहली पॉलिसी और रोड टॉप स्कीम. जितना रोड पड़ा, रोड पे आप ईवी चार्जिंग बनाइए, ईवी स्टेशन बनाइए, चार्जिंग के, नो पेट्रोल नो डीजल, इको सिस्टम बनाएगा. राजस्थान बिकम टॉप मोस्ट कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड इन द इकोसिस्टम मैनेजमेंट.
बहुत ही इनके बढ़िया पॉइंट्स हैं. तो आई वाज रीडिंग सम स्टैटिस्टिक्स ऑन सोलर. सो राजस्थान कैन जनरेट इनफ सोलर पावर टू सप्लाई होल ऑफ इंडिया, right? Such is the potential of Rajasthan, right? And that is clean energy. Everybody is wanting to go towards clean energy. So, and Rajasthan has all these potentials. So, yes, our to your questions, basically, the first one, NASSCOM has to engage more in Rajasthan. We have been doing much more. Munesh ji is now the NASSCOM chair. Earlier, I was the chair. Now, I'm part of the NASSCOM SME National Council. And I think we have to work very closely with the state and the colleges to ensure that Rajasthan comes much more to the foray of everything. Semiconductor policy, see, I'm not so clued in on that. Yes, it's a very, very important aspect. But of course, we are very close to the Pakistan border, and that always plays a very important role in case of Rajasthan. Semiconductor, most of these things are, I believe, in Bangalore and other areas. These are being set up. Again, I'm not very clear about it. Where it is being set up. Gift City is also setting up semiconductors. So, world's largest. So I think, yeah, so more such initiatives in Rajasthan are definitely needed to ensure that unique areas, whether it is, green power, okay, green power, ESG, which is basically for everybody, it's about equity, social and governance, right? We do work in these areas, by the way. This is like, for example, we have a company called Gravitas in Rajasthan, which is like doing very, very well. They are into recycling of batteries, and there are a few other companies. So ESG is an emerging domain, right? And Rajasthan can play a very important role in it. Whether it is solar power, whether it is, waste disposal, whether it is whatever. And then again, I believe all the new age things, probably we are ripe for, I don't know, maybe silicon manufacturing and similar technologies, but this is all very, very high end. And I think my panelists have mentioned that data centers, that's big. I think Rajasthan will become one of the largest places for data center. But then, to my surprise, one thing which Munesh I want to mention on this data centers point, so most of the backbones in Rajasthan, they run along NH8, Tonk Road and all that. Now what about the other roads? You can't establish a data center in Mahindra's age because they don't have the right backbone running. Why can't we expand that? Why can't the government promote that? If you want to, you have land, but only there are arteries where you have, we are doing development, and there the land prices are phenomenal, right? How do you expect to spend, 1 lakh or 80,000 rupees per square meter to buy land and then establish a data center on that? You tell me. Right? So a lot of these things have to be done. There are, systemic things which the government should look at the fundamental level, and then work with the industry and the various bodies to spread out the development rather than do it in only certain areas, which we are doing right now. Very nice, very nice. In fact, just skilling India, energizing India, very well said, sir. Very well said. So innovate and elevate. ये हमारी इस बार NASSCOM की theme है. इनोवेट एंड एलिवेट. बेसिकली आप इनोवेशन तो मस्ट ही है. ये लीजिए.
From the solar energy point of view, very good point, first of all. So, I believe, I don't know about other states, but in this state for the commercial projects, उन सब में आपको mandatorily एक solar plant होना ही है. I have 2-3 in my family, these kind of commercial projects and all, the large scale projects, where this has been mandatorily enforced from the government and especially from the environment department and all. So yes, इस चीज को बहुत प्रमोट किया जा रहा है. Secondly, कुछ एक चीजें हैं जो कि earlier in domestic we used to get better subsidy, but now this subsidy is not at that level. That should again be at an earlier level. ये government की तरफ से बिल्कुल होना चाहिए. And the rates have also been increased because the panels and all. Some Make in India panels, even they are now costing a very high cost level, which have been imported from other countries. So वो थोड़ा सा hindrance देते हैं, right? So इसमें ये थोड़ा सा बाकी, if you see that net metering and all, so this net metering policies have been improved. So कुछ जगह थोड़ा सा improve किया है, but at the same time initial the kick जिसे मिलती है हमें, वहाँ पे थोड़ा government के इस initiatives को better करना चाहिए पहले की तरह. Started very well, then down, and the post implementation of this solar facility things have been eased out. So मुझे लगता है कि थोड़ा उल्टा होना चाहिए, because पहले हम उसको entry करें और फिर उसको ease out ज़्यादा better काम करेगा. So these are the things. Otherwise, in terms of EVs and all, things are improving. In fact, in today's Economic Times, I was reading in the morning, the EV vehicle percentage on roads have been increased, even in Rajasthan. So this is a good point. And then subsidies have been given to the EV charging stations. So that is good, but people are not too much aware. जब तक यूज में नहीं होगा तब तक उस चीज को इम्प्लीमेंट करने के लिए उसका कॉस्टिंग नहीं निकलेगा. सो उसके लिए मुझे लगता है अवेयरनेस बहुत जरूरी है, वो होनी चाहिए. हाईवे किंग अगर आप देखेंगे तो ऑलमोस्ट ऑल दी हाईवे किंग्स on Delhi, Jaipur, in fact 70% they are having EV charging station. लोगों को दिखते भी नहीं है वहाँ पे. वो ऐसा लगता है कि ये क्या बन गया है, because people don't look at it, but things are improving. Private sector में थोड़ा सा अभी उसमें प्रॉब्लम है. अगर कोई छोटा स्टार्टअप उस चीज को करना चाहे तो इन्वेस्टमेंट इज हाई, एंड देन उसका जो ROI है वो थोड़ा लेट आएगा, बट इट विल कम. सो हैंड टू हैंड चलेगा. थोड़ा गवर्नमेंट को उस चीज में करना चाहिए, और इंडिविजुअली पीपल शुड ऑल्सो स्टार्ट यूजिंग देयर EVs ऑन हाईवेज. वो कॉन्फिडेंस नहीं आ पा रहा है अभी तक, जिसके कारण वो ROI का थोड़ा इशू है. बट वेरी गुड पॉइंट्स दैट यू हैव मेंशन. आई रियली appreciate all those points that you have brought in.
Thank you, Alok ji. Thank you, Parjat ji. I think these are very important points. Just final thoughts, very quick, 10 to 15 seconds from everyone. Regarding the challenges and opportunities in Rajasthan, especially in the tech, if anyone want to share any quick thoughts.
So I think opportunity is that government of Rajasthan is one of the biggest buyers of IT. So can you buy from the SMEs? Can you buy from these startups and make the life easier as it is in some other states, right? You know, you have certain things like somebody mentioned net metering, there could be medical records, there could be other things. But you know, buying from these startups and from the SMEs versus only the big 5 consulting firms, if you may, that is something which should be considered, and it should be made easier for everybody.
One of the challenge we face about the talent is the communication skills, which Parijat already shared that. So if our students focus on improving their communication, that will be very helpful to grow the IT industry in Jaipur.
Thank you, Anil sir. So I'll talk about opportunity. Number one, Jaipur has very good opportunity being having proximity to the NCR. Alternate बन सकता है अगर हम यहाँ पर अच्छी policies foster करें and Gurgaon and NCR का, because it has all capabilities. Like Anil sir mentioned that it is actually low seismic zone, while Delhi is a higher seismic zone from earthquakes in point of view. So एक वो opportunity है. Second, currently that the startups can avail is government has given, I don't know how many people know about it or not, but government has given approval to 600 crores budget in Jaipur, Jaipur and Kota. Okay, for the tech startups only. And number one, the priority for the government, government ka priority hai, but this is agri, tech, and the second one is the fintech. Fintech, I'm not sure, again, this is in the list, but agri-tech is in the list. So tech overall, I would say, people should grab this opportunity. They should inquire about it. They can go to the DOIT, and this is another opportunity. Yeah, so rest, I guess, we discussed so many other things, so no need to mention those points, yeah.
Thank you, sir. So I think Rajasthan के बारे में in terms of infrastructure, skill development, opportunities, सभी का almost बात हो गया. तो I think we all have to work together as a academic or enterprises and the ecosystem. If you can work together, then we will be very soon will be in the tier 1 city in terms of infrastructure and skill development, not भीड़ भाड़ बहुत ज़्यादा. Infrastructure बहुत अच्छा होना चाहिए. Ideally, this is very important, and so that we can leverage the entire ecosystem. Thank you, Parijat ji. Thank you, Anil ji. Thank you, Alok, for all of your insights. Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone.
I'd also like to thank all our panelists for their time and a great session. I'd like to call upon Tapan Kumar sir, Additional Director, Department of Information Technology and Communication, to come on the stage and facilitate our panelists.
Just 1 minute. I think government के बारे में बहुत कुछ कहा गया. And I just want to, I am Tapan Kumar, Additional Director, Department of IT. And I am the OIC of Techno Hub. Just आपके adjacent जो है, Techno Hub में startup hub है, Rajasthan. We have many incubators. जैसे Parijat ji said, कि we have a policy. Government startups को nomination basis पे 1 CR तक के orders दे सकती है. मतलब that is the government of Rajasthan has done. जो भामाशाह data center है, this is Asia's first data center tier 1 का, जो किसी भी state government own करती है. Techno Hub जो है वो T Hub के बाद इंडिया का largest startup ecosystem का hub है ना. और जैसे आलोक जी was saying कि जो grants है, government grant देती है to startups, it has been increased from 5 lakh earlier to 60 lakhs. 60 lakhs तक grant मिल सकती है, and government can support a startup up to 5 CR. हमारा एक innovation award मिलता है जो हर साल मिलता है, उसका highest award is 5 CR. So government is doing everything for the people. मेरा request ये रहेगा आप लोगों से कि function के बाद जब भी आप free हो, you can visit Techno Hub anytime. ठीक है, thank you.
Guys, let's clap for our esteemed panelists once again. Now, after this session, we'll starting the Rajasthan Bharat Award ceremony, where we'll be felicitating 21 to 25 legends of Rajasthan IT. They have joined us here and they'll be shortly here. So I request audience to please wait for them, and we'll be looking forward to an excellent and amazing award ceremony. I once again request the audience to please stay seated for the Rajasthan Bharat Award ceremony.